देखो देखो कैसी बातें यहाँ की है, साथ पर है साथ ना भी। तो whenever if something goes wrong, then टूटे मकान, but अगर आप किसी के साथ, if you're in love with them, then आप घर बना रहे हो उनके साथ. Right now for me love is something that love is sacrifice. People are just like trying to explore their options, and like just like again like I said, that they're unwilling to commit. But now it's just a lot more that I want to make the most beautiful songs that people have ever heard.
Anuv Jain, welcome to CNN News 18.
Hello sir, hi, I'm so excited to be here right now.
I'm also very excited to talk to you, Anuv. Anuv, you're really a success story, a musician with Midas touch. You're a digital phenomena, a globally recognized artist. Each of your songs pierces the heart. Like these lines from your song Husn, which says, "मेरे हुस्न के अलावा कभी दिल भी मांग लो ना." So you sing a lot of love songs or sad love song, if I can say. So then, what is the meaning of love for Anuv Jain?
Um, so love, I don't even know. Like, I think I'm still too young to, understand it completely. But at least right now, for me, love is something that, love is sacrifice. Love is, being with people and giving your all to make them happy. And, I think that's what it is. Like, you can have, like, I mean, I love my mom, I love my sister, the people that I've been with, like, I've, really loved them as well. And I think that's what it is, like trying to understand who they are and sacrificing some parts of you just so that you can make them happy, and understanding that there are things that they'll do just to make you happy as well. I guess that's what it is.
Beat Baarishen to Husn or Gul. In this over 5 year long career, you have only released 11 songs. And these songs have some record number of streams. Has success made you more or less free as an artist?
Honestly, sir, I think it's a bit of both. I think because the success has brought in the stability as well in my life, that obviously makes me, a little more relaxed in my head, that, I can like go out there and do my own thing and not really have to worry about, where the next meal is going to come from, I guess. So that way I've become a little free. But at the same time, when you're reaching so many people, there are certain expectations that, are, put upon you as well, and that obviously confines you in a way which is not the best for an artist, because there are expectations that these are the kind of songs that people want you to write. But as artists, we always want to experiment, we want to do more things. So I guess it's a bit of both, and we just try to navigate our way through it, that what's the best way forward, I guess.
Do you feel the same emotions, the one you felt 5 years ago?
I think I feel them a lot more now, honestly. Because, in the beginning it was just survival, honestly. But now it's enjoyment, and I can really enjoy music. I mean, earlier I was just doing it to survive and, just like earn a bit of money, I guess. But now I'm doing it because I really love music, and, I'm so passionate about all of this. And I've also started enjoying, I used to get very nervous on stage as well, but I've started enjoying my shows a lot more because I've gotten used to it, I guess. So that's also like really helping me, like enjoy the entire process and just like take it all in, and just be in the moment. So I think it's a lot more than what it was earlier.
Has your dreams changed in these years?
My dreams haven't changed. I think they've just evolved and become bigger. The dream was always, to do the best that I can to give people the most beautiful songs and the most beautiful music that they've ever heard. And obviously, that's a dream that's very relative, because you can't please everybody, of course. But now it's just a lot more that I want to make the most beautiful songs that people have ever heard. I just want to reach more people. I want to make more beautiful music. Everything is just exponentially increased, but the dreams are still the same, that I had when I was 16, I guess.
Well, I have many questions, but I'm really dying to listen to Husn. Would you please like to give us few lines of it?
Of course, I would love to. Okay, so all the people who are watching this right now, this song is called Husn, and this is my latest song. And yeah, this is probably my favorite song that I've ever written. देखो देखो कैसी बातें यहाँ की है, साथ पर है साथ ना भी। क्या इतनी आसान है देखो देखो जैसे मेरे इरादे वैसे कहाँ मेरे यहाँ थे, हाँ कितनी नादान मैं, मेरे हुस्न की अलावा कभी दिल भी मांगे लो ना, है पल में मैं पिघल जाऊं, हाँ अब ऐसा ना करो कि दिल जुड़ ना पाए वापस, तेरी बातों से बिखर जाऊं, हाँ हाँ.
Ah,
So yeah, these are
nice.
the first lines from the song.
Somebody need to really experience this when they get a chance to attend your concerts. And I have a different question for that. But I know, can you please talk to us about your early days and the music that shaped your life?
Okay, so I started singing back when I was a kid. I don't even remember when I started it. But I think music really came to me when I was 14. I started playing the guitar. And by the time I was 15, 16, I had started writing songs as well because, I was singing, I was playing the guitar. So songwriting just happened very naturally. I think back then I was listening to a lot of Linkin Park, a lot of Backstreet Boys, a lot of Green Day. There's a lot of Western music, influences I had. Uh, and obviously Sonu Nigam sir as well. Who hasn't heard his music, back when they were kids? So we've all heard that. I've, come from that same era. And that's when I started writing my songs. Back then, I used to write in English primarily, and then one of my guitar teacher, I was learning the guitar for a year or something like that. So he suggested that why don't you try writing in Hindi? And I think that was one of the best suggestions that I've ever received in my life because I realized that I was pretty good at it. And yeah, that's how things happened and things just snowballed, and I've been writing in Hindi ever since. And yeah, things have been great.
Also, tell us how it started. Was there an incident or how when you started writing? If I'm not wrong, it all started in the lockdown, right?
Yeah, so what happened was that I mean, when I was 16, 17, that's when I wrote my first few songs. And Baarishen, which is a very, very popular song of mine, was written when I was just 17 at the time. But I never released it. So when I was 21, a friend of mine pushed me and they said that, why don't you get it recorded now, finally? So I did what everybody did, like went to all record labels, not record labels, like recording studios, tried to, like record the song and finally got it out. And I think that's when things started moving forward because even though that was just like a one take recording with absolutely no music, it's just like keys and like a shaker on the song, which people hear now. It's a completely empty, very very breezy like song that way, very light song that way. And but people absolutely loved it. And it wasn't extremely instant that I was getting millions of views. It started off with like hundreds of views per day, then thousands, and then lakhs of views, and then millions of views now. So that's how it happened. So I think that was a very good start or kickstart for my career, because when you put out a song for the very first time and it starts doing really well, I think that puts a lot of things in place for you, because then everybody is interested in the next song that you want to put out. So I got very lucky that way. But I was still using music as a hobby. I wasn't really, I didn't want to get into it professionally because it was something that I loved and I just wanted to do it on the side and maybe work in a 9 to 5 or like in the business. But none of those things worked out. I have worked in the 9 to 5 as well. I have worked in the family business as well. But fortunately now, unfortunately then, things did not work out. And I got pushed again into the music scene right when the lockdown hit back in 2020. Which turned out to be one of the best decisions ever because the last 4 years have been amazing. So then I just kept releasing songs. I released the song called Alag Asman, which became very popular. Then this song called Gul happened after that, which again became like a very, very big internet thing, which was very funny for me, honestly. And then I released the song called Husn, which was just released like 2 months ago. And right now, I think it's the number one song in the country, which is just incredible to me. Like it blows my
Not in the
mind that
country,
how.
also in places like Pakistan and around the
Yeah, yeah,
world.
yeah. So it was number one charting and number one on Apple Music and Spotify in India at number one, Pakistan number one, I think UAE top 10, which is like again pretty amazing. So yeah.
Anu, in two of your songs, you've spoken about houses. What is the idea of the perfect house for you and the reason behind it finding place in your writing?
So for me, house is very important.
There's a very touching
Um,
line where say "Toote Makan." It starts with such a
yeah,
touching line. Yeah,
I, so
please.
whenever I look at love, I feel that it's like a home. You build a home together, and I think that's very, very, very important for me because I'm very attached to my home. And like I said, that whenever I'm working on a song as well, I can't write it when I'm traveling. I have to come back home. I have to sit in my room or in my balcony. So for me, this house, even though these are just walls, are very, very close to me, and there are so many memories that are attached to it. My childhood is attached to it, and so many other things are attached to it. So I feel that that comes in my songwriting as well, because when something feels so pure to me, like this house feels so pure to me, I want to write about that as the thing of purity and love. So whenever, if something goes wrong, then टूटे मका. But अगर आप किसी के साथ, if you're in love with them, then आप घर बना रहे हो उनके साथ. And I think that's where it comes from. Again, that's a very brilliant question, so honestly nobody's ever asked me, but like I really appreciate you asking me that
Lovely,
question.
lovely lyrics they are. This, but you tell stories with your songs. At
Hmm.
your concert, it's just you with guitar, and along with this thousand people singing with you.
Yes.
Do you find fans or audience members telling you how your songs have healed them?
I actually find that a lot. And I never thought that that's going to be the case because I was just writing songs about my life. But I realized that I'm probably a very simple guy and everybody can relate to it. So I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. But at least it's working out for me. And yes, a lot of people have told me that, like they are being able to relate to the music and it's helping them in a lot of ways. Obviously, I'm not going to like tell personal stories right now, but I have heard such sad and such, sadly beautiful and like heartbreaking stories over the last few months as well and over the last few years, because whenever I'm doing shows I get to meet people backstage and they tell me things that have happened in their lives and they could relate, my song could help them in that particular moment. So it makes me really happy that okay, maybe I have done something right and I've at least managed to make somebody happy or given them that moment where they could probably cry to the song, which also helps like let go of things, which is also a very important thing. So I'm happy that that has happened.
You know, in your you talk about situationships in your songs.
Yes.
Husn, I think where you telling the story on stage, if I'm not wrong. Uh,
Yeah.
Situationship is exactly, it can be easily defined as the thing between great love and no string attached category of relationship. Do you see that turning into real love?
Sir, it honestly depends on who the people are. I mean, obviously we can be optimistic about it, and maybe it does turn into like real love as well. People come together because they want it to be very transactional. It's like no strings attached. We're just like trying out things. We're like exploring our options, but they might eventually end up falling in love, which is everything that everybody hopes for. But sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes maybe one person falls in love and the other person doesn't feel the same way because they still want to explore their options, they don't want to commit. And I feel that that is that story. Maybe I'll write about like two people who were not meant to be together but they did end up falling in love. So I guess I've actually written a song like that as well. So you never know what happens. Love has so many ways of like happening, sometimes positive, sometimes negative. So I can't really answer that question like with like a proper this thing.
But do you see a lot of situationships around you these days?
Don't we all? I guess like everybody who's my age right now, we can just see it everywhere. It's in the media as well. Like we are all, people are just like trying to explore their options and like just like again, like I said, that they're unwilling to commit. And obviously it's not that much, but it is increasing. Which is again, it's not a bad thing. Like people want people. This is what the society is heading towards. We can't really say anything about it. Right? It's not a judgment on the society, but it's just a story about a friend, who went through something similar and they felt like a certain way, and that's what it is. So it's not a bad thing or a good thing whether situationship is like there, but they are there, they exist, and everybody knows about it. It's all around us. So yeah.
I know generally singers, after tasting success, like to drop their songs more frequently.
Yeah.
But in your case, it's just 11 songs in 5 years.
Yes.
What is the big idea behind this strategy? You're not even signed by a label.
No, no. So there's no idea really. I think I'm just a very slow songwriter, and rightly so, because the songs that I'm, at least that's personally, the way I write. Every artist has their own unique way of, expressing themselves and putting the music out. Some people can literally write the most beautiful songs in literally like a few hours and put them out. It's not the case with me. It takes me a little longer. It's just the way my brain works. But the thing is that at the same time, people need to understand that the songs that I'm trying to work on, they are providing some very unique ideas, and I'm trying to like really bring something very new to the table. I don't have a lot of lyrical repetitions. Every idea, every paragraph is, unique. If you actually go deep into the songwriting, it's literally a story from the beginning to an end, which has, an intro, it has a conclusion as well. It's just a problem as a songwriter, I guess. It just takes me a lot of time, but as long as it's working out for me, the process, people are accepting it, they are patient now, they wait for it. It feels like, even though it's 11 songs over 5 years, every time I release a song, it's like people are waiting, it's, and it makes me really happy that, okay, every person has a unique way of releasing music, and if people can accept that, that just obviously works very well for artists, I guess.
So then I'm sure you must be writing a lot of songs. Who's your bouncing board? Whose feedback do you take about your songs, about your writing?
So I just have like, I have a few friends that I obviously share my music with before it comes out, and obviously like I have my team as well. They're again my friends only. But like the one person who's like my proper bouncing board is my mom, and everybody knows about it. I've said it before as well that whenever I'm writing a song, she always is sitting with me, and whenever, because मेरी handwriting तो एक बहुत ज़्यादा बुरी है. So whenever I'm like narrating the songs, she's always like quickly writing all the ideas down, and then we sit down and we brainstorm that which one will work, which one will not work, and instantly I get that feedback from her that, okay, I don't think this will work, or this is actually a good line. So that her reactions give me that, that bouncing board thing, that, okay, maybe this might work, this might not work. So yeah, it's definitely my mom.
So then how do you structure your songs? I mean, do you write from start to finish, or you just write few lines first and then you start adding it, shaping it up with new lyrics, with new words?
So the way I start is I started on the guitar, and I start with the melody first. And whenever I'm singing, I never hum the song. I always use random words and string random words together. And for example, if I want to write about situationships, I'll have that in my head that, okay, this is the idea that I want to write about. And once I'm like, it happens very naturally to me that whenever I'm like playing the guitar and I'm singing or humming, or like not humming exactly, but singing, I can always try to, like, there are these words that just like fall into place, even though these are the most random ideas and they don't make sense really. And then when I start writing, I choose that, if I want to retain those words in those places, and do I want to build the idea around them. So that's how it usually works. I make the melody first and then I start writing. And once I start writing, then I like take out all paragraphs and I figure out beforehand that these are the kind of ideas that I want to put in all of these paragraphs, so that the entire story is maintained. And then I keep working towards the this thing के मेरे को ये idea डालना है यहाँ पर and fit it in the economy of words. So that's how I work usually.
So then how Barishe was born?
So Baarishen was a song that I wrote when I was 17. And I was so young back then. So what happened was that I had already released like this one song. I had recorded on my Nokia phone and I had just like put it out there. So that's, like that is how it was. And obviously, that song was fairly nice and people really liked it. So I wanted to write something, like more profound or better than that. So I started working for like a year on that song, because obviously I was doing other things as well. So I wasn't like completely focused on that. And on the same kind of melody, I had built like these different paragraphs and different, like different ideas and different melodies and different songs. So once I started combining them, I started like, picking which one should go where and which one shouldn't go where, like which should be removed or something like that. But it was written for somebody. And I remember I was actually in this house. I mean, not in this house, sorry, like the other house, where I was on the terrace and it was raining and I was with that person during that time. And that's where the word Baarishe comes from. And yeah, and then like it just like happened. It took me a year to write that song. It wasn't a very easy process because I was doing other things as well, and there were like a lot of other things happening. But yeah, it eventually happened. I'm so happy that I was patient enough for that 1 year, because that song has done wonders and given me a lot. So yeah,
Please give a few lines of Barishe.
of
That
course,
would
of course.
stick out it, yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. होली से धीमे से मुझको बाहों में भर लो ना तुम, नरम सी सांसों में मुझको में भर लो ना तुम। सुन जरा मेरे पास आ, अब बैठे हैं हम भी यहाँ दिल के दरमियाँ। बारिशें बारिशें हैं तेरी बातों पे मैंने सजा ली है दुनिया यहाँ दिल के दरमियाँ। बारिशें बारिशें Okay, so yeah, this was Baarishen.
Lovely that. Now, although you have, of course, released 11 songs so far, but how much time do you spend while working on a song? And has the process of creating a new song become easy now?
So it takes a lot of time because the thing is that I am creatively involved in the artwork and the music video as well. So it takes time to ideate that, okay, this is what we want to make. And all of these concepts have gone through me. So, after I've written the song, and the thing is that I'm not somebody who can multitask. I work on the song and then, the next thing then happens and then happens. So that's the reason why it takes a lot of time. If I could probably just do it parallelly, I think it would take much lesser time. I would probably save months, but that's just not how my brain works, I guess. It takes a little while. It takes about 3 to 4 months just to like finish everything for a song, which is, I know, a lot of time. But there's shows and all that happen in the middle as well. So obviously I get like very busy with that, and like I said, I can't really think while I'm on the road. So it does take time. Again, it's like if people are liking it and if every song is strong enough to just be an album in its own right, and the numbers that the songs are doing are like incredible, I guess it's pretty much okay.
I was listening to this unreleased song of yours called "Jo Tum Mere Ho," that you actually mentioned that you wrote for a girl who
Yeah,
actually was leaving you.
yeah,
These lines says it all. "Jo tum mere ho, मैं कुछ ना मांगू दुनिया से." You know, it's really a heartbreak song. Do
yeah.
you think the girl will ever come back?
I'm not hoping for that, sir, anymore. These are stories that obviously I'm talking about them still, but I have, in a way, left them, like behind. So it's not something that, is there in my head anymore. But I'm obviously going to write the song, but I don't hope for like people to come back. It's completely okay.
You, of course, your music has created so much buzz. How many offers are you flooded with for a collaboration from Bollywood?
So not, I mean, there have been offers, a lot of them, but like not too many. And it's completely okay. Like I don't really have a problem with it. Because everything in life is like come very slowly and I have been very patient. So I don't mind waiting. There have been a few opportunities that have come my way, but they didn't align with, the kind of music that I want to make. So I let them go. I was very lucky that, last year, one of my songs, which is called Mazak, it got placed in a movie as well, which was a first for me. So I'm hoping that people will look at my catalog and they'll feel that these songs are worthy enough for like putting in film as well. And hopefully that will happen someday. But it's not something that I'm like actively waiting for, like hoping for. I am trying to do my own thing. I think I've built a very big audience that is being able to reach, like I'm being able to reach a lot of people. So I guess it's completely okay. It's not something that like I said, actively waiting for. If it happens, I'll be very happy.
But then, are there actors or directors whom you like to collaborate with or jam with?
I would love to work with Mr. Arijit Singh. I think his music is beautiful. And I think that combination of film music and non-film music, like those two worlds colliding would be absolutely brilliant. Would love to work with some of my friends. I have a lot of friends in the industry, and I think they're brilliant artists in their own right. And I would love to collaborate with them. I think that will happen very naturally. At the same time, there are a lot of international artists as well that I would like to collaborate with. But I think Pele, let's work with local artists first, and maybe then I'll be able to reach that. But hopefully, I'll be able to tick off all of these, names that I have in my head. So
I know you, of course, based out of Punjab, you live in Ludhiana,
yeah.
big industrial town, if I'm not wrong. We generally see a lot of Punjabi artists breaking out from Punjab, and rarely, there are artists who come out and take over the music scene in in the Hindi space. Uh, how much of Punjabi music is part of your music? How much influence it has?
So honestly, I wouldn't say influence because that's not the kind of music that I make.
Yeah.
It definitely is the music that I listen to though. I love listening to Punjabi music. I'm not somebody who's like always listening to like this indie, Hindi soft boy music. I mean, I'm in love with like Sidhu Moosewala's songs. and his music has been incredible. And I remember when I used to go to office every morning, I used to be in like such a bad headspace. I used to listen to his music to just like give me that pump. Whenever I'm at the gym as well, this is the kind of music that we're listening to. We're listening to AP Dillon. We're listening to like again Sidhu Moosewala's music. We're listening to Karan Aujla. These people are like incredible, and they've all come out of Punjab. Diljit Dosanjh, like he was in Coachella. That's incredible. And I know that he has a Ludhiana connection as well, which like every Ludhianvi is just like so proud of. So there's no influence in my music, but in my life there is a lot of it. Like there's a lot of exposure to Punjabi music. Everywhere we go, we are going for parties or anything of that sort, this is the kind of music that we're listening to. I keep on saying that there's this artist, his name is Novo Amor. I absolutely love his music. I'm not sure which country he's from, but I just know his music and I really like it. There's a lot of Pakistani music that we consume from Coke Studio and all of those things. Like Atif Aslam has been such an inspiration, and his music has been so beautiful. There is this band which has disbanded now. It's called the Local Train, and it's one of my favorite bands ever. And I listen to their music very regularly as well. So yeah, I consume all kinds of music. I listen to hip hop, I listen to pop music, I listen to jazz, I listen to slow music, everything, whatever the world has to offer.
And finally, Anu, what is a big plan? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
So honestly, the way I see the music industry, I know that people come and they go. I just hope that I can sustain this career for the next 5 years, because that would mean that I've been in this industry for a decade, and that would be a very big milestone for me. I don't have any. I mean, there are big plans. Obviously, I have the most biggest goals that people can have. I come from that same school of thought, but there are no big plans as such. It's just sustainability, hoping that after 5 years I'm still relevant enough that people would want to listen to my music. And if I'm not, I really hope that all the music that I release till then, people would want to listen to it for the decades to come. That's the only plan.
Sure. Well, more power to you. Keep surprising us and your fans. Looking forward to lots more, Anuv. Thank you so much for your time and best of luck.
Thank you so much, sir. It was an honor, and thank you so much for asking me the most interesting questions.
Thank you. I just want to request you if you want to give few lines of a song with which you start your concert with.
So I open my concerts with this song called Riha.
Can you
that's
give
that's
few lines?
Yeah, do you want me to like sing the song for you?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, just
perfect.
a couple of lines.
No problem, no problem. So guys, this is the song. This is a song called Riha, and this is how I usually open my concerts. The lines that I'm going to be singing are some of my favorite lines from this particular song. They come in the middle. तस्वीरों में मुस्कुराहट थी, अब मेरे चेहरे पे है क्यों नहीं ये पूछते, इन गैरों को है समझ नहीं कोई, तस्वीरों में तुम भी खड़े थे, मिश्री सी ये यादें संभली पड़ी, तुम इन मेरे हो, तू है नूर सा, नूर ही है अलग, तू ऐसे मेरा जहां. So yeah, this one is Reha.
Thank you.